To move on, আমাদের যে next sessionটা হচ্ছে to talk about SDGs and social entrepreneurship. আমাদের সাথে I have a very close friend whose name is Kesevan Veloo. He is one of the facilitators of the Movers program, and he's here to discuss how your work can be aligned with SDGs and social entrepreneurship, everything there is to know. Kesevan, whenever you're ready.
All right, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
All right, so hi everyone, it's nice to meet you. Guys, today, so on behalf of the Movers program, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. It is our privilege to have you with us today. So a brief introduction about myself. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Kesevan Veloo. You can call me K. I am from Malaysia. I'm half Chinese, half Indian. Studied in Japan. And I am an IT graduate from Japan, empowering the farming community by incorporating agriculture with technology. So I started as a social entrepreneur from a social business pitching competition called Hot Prize. But then as someone who mentors and supports youth to be entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs to be specific. So wait, let me share my screen. All right. So if I'm looking at the other side, that's like a screen the other side, another monitor the other side. So yeah, I'll be your facilitator for this Sustainable Development Goals SDG session. I'll be covering up the fundamentals of SDGs, why is it important, and how it impacts your life and your environment. So before that, I would like to introduce the Movers program, which I am a part of, and the great Lamia is a part of too. So I've been a part of the Movers program as a fellow for about 4 to 5 months now. What we do as a part of the Movers program is to mobilize youth across Asia Pacific to raise awareness about the SDGs and develop entrepreneurial mindset. Our aim is to create a ripple effect where those who attended our workshops would then organize and facilitate their own Movers workshop in their communities to spread the awareness. So through this program, you have the chance to connect with great people from around the world, sharpen your skills as an entrepreneur, such as creative thinking, problem solving, and storytelling techniques to host effectively workshops and webinars and other benefits. So if you want to be like me and join the Movers family, details will be provided at the end of the session. So this is the typical rules we always had during our Movers workshop. So just a reminder, we're going to keep this whole session a non-judging zone. Be open-minded, listen with attention, and share with intention. Ask questions or share whatever you want through the chat box. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself or just put it on the chat box. I'll try to answer you, the best as I can. Keep yourself muted if you're not speaking. You can use the thumbs up and the clapping reactions button below. Trust the process and us facilitators. More importantly, have fun learning about SDGs and enjoy the whole session. So great, now we are done with the Movers introduction. We're going to proceed to the introductions of you guys. So we're going to start something light. Just put in the chat box of your name and 3 words how you describe yourself. So let me just copy this and put it in the chat box. All right, so for example, I am K, and I am using the examples on the screen. I am cool, cute, and open-minded, So you can just spam the chat box for a few minutes. I'll just let it be. Anyone? Nirob is open-minded. Hi, nice to meet you, Nirob. Maliha sent to me privately, open-minded. Tenzin is Duibang. Sulkar is cool. Nice to meet you guys. Amiable. Hi, Mahin. I'm cool. Yes, nice. Amir is cool and funny. Yeah, so it's great to meet all of you guys. So I'll just continue on with the session. Hi, Sajat. Yes, good looking and free spirit. Sazrin is ambition and weird. You sent to me privately though. All right, so I'll just continue on to the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So you might have heard about the term Sustainable Development Goals, but let's see how familiar all of you regarding SDGs. Just share in the chat box again of what you know about SDGs, and we'll start comparing them. Hi, Raihan, good listener.
Did they write it in the chat box?
Yeah, just put it in the chat box.
Okay. Can I participate?
Please do. Anything you know about SDGs? If none, it's a bit shocking. Yes, SDGs are necessary for this world to survive. That's one. 15 goals is close. Hi, Sonia. Yes, 17 SDGs, 17 goals, nice. 17 particular goals, 17, only 9 years left. Yes, true. Any more? Collection of 17 goals to achieve a better future, true. Focus on quality education, nice. Build a better future, all right. Yeah, I see a lot of number 17s going around. 15 was close. And a certain zero hunger and quality education were the goals itself, children's of NDGs. Yes. All right, so yes, goals that need to be implemented in a sustainable and stable manner. Nice. So basically, there's a lot of 17s. So they're all nice, great answers. Like actually, various pieces of the puzzle. So to understand sustainable development goals, we first need to understand what sustainable development is. So on your screen right now is one of the definitions that we like to use. Sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The keywords here being without compromising and sustainable. So in other words, sustainable development is about preserving our planet and our people while ensuring prosperity for the years to come, particularly for the future. So sustainable development is usually viewed through a perspective of three core elements or pillars, as we like to call: people, planet, prosperity, or as known as social progress, environmental progress, and economic development. But it is important to remember that these are not just individual characteristics. They are all interconnected and have characteristics in common. An example I can give you is that the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, where it is not only caused by poor hygiene practices, but also could be influenced by poverty or indirectly by the climate change, as climate change alters how we relate to each other species on Earth. So before the SDGs, prior to the SDGs, there were MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, adopted by the UN, United Nations, in the year 2000. So, first and foremost, the Millennium Development Goals were an agenda that focused on what we still call in some contexts developing countries. In the year 2000, leaders from 189 countries come together at the UN to shape a broad vision to fight poverty in its many dimensions, thus coming up with the Millennium Development Goals. The MDGs consisted of 8 goals to reach by 2015, ranging from achieving universal primary education and reducing child mortality. So the big question is, were the Millennium Development Goals a success throughout the span of 15 years? I would say yes, but to an extent. So these are the results of the MDGs. By the end of the MDGs 2015, the number of people that live on $1.25 per day has dropped more than half. Child mortality is also down by almost half. The number of primary school-age children who don't go to school initially went to school, and the number has decreased by almost half. The world is more connected by technology, where the global internet penetration has increased from 6% to 43% by the year 2015. But then again, as much progress was made together, there was still a lot more to do. Over 800 million people are still living on less than $1.25 per day. 1 in 9 people in our country, in our planet, still goes to sleep hungry each night. About 1 in 6 adults are still illiterate, and 2/3 of that number are women. Problems such as ongoing deforestation, increased acidity in the oceans, and yeah, the list just goes on and on. And yes, there's still many things to do. So, in September 2015, leaders from 193 countries came together once again to agree on a new set of goals to help finish the goals we started in 2000. The new goals are called Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, to be achieved by the year 2030, less than 10 years from now. So, on your screen right now are the said 17 goals. So on your screen right now are the said 17 goals, plus 1 if you're from Cambodia, making it 18. The SDGs framework includes goals that focus on zero hunger, gender equality, responsible consumption and production, action against climate change, and partnerships. So let's compare the SDGs and MDGs for a moment. The most obvious difference is that MDGs was centered on a specific set of 8 individual goals, 21 targets, and 60 indicators, whereas the SDGs are broader with 17 interconnected goals, 169 targets, and 230 indicators. This gives us a chance to understand our impact at a deeper level, starting from organization, community, and then hence our countries all over. Also, unlike the MDGs, where it is about looking at one direction and trying to help the developing countries, the SDGs are a universal agenda. They are both domestic and international in nature. Like one of the principles, leave no one behind, which we will discuss later. This goals require us to think internally about our organization, our community, and our country, as well as helping us think through our meaningful engagement with countries around the world. That is one part. So continuing on. So as I mentioned earlier about the principles of SDGs. The SDGs are guided by 5 principles, namely universality, leaving no one behind, inclusiveness, multi-stakeholder partnerships, and integratedness. Universality can be defined as the agenda is applicable in all countries, in all contexts, and at all times. Leaving no one behind. The agenda seeks to benefit all people, literally meaning leaving no one behind. Inclusiveness. The agenda calls for participation of all segments of society. Multi-stakeholder partnerships. All stakeholders are needed to reach the goals. And integratedness. The goals are all interconnected. We cannot aim to achieve just one goal. We must achieve them all. So, on top of the 3 core elements we discussed earlier, people, planet, and prosperity mentioned earlier, 2 critical dimensions that will drive Agenda 2030 were adopted, namely partnership and peace. Partnership strengthen the capacity of all stakeholders together, while peace, justice, and institution are important for improvement in the 3 core elements. The genuine sustainability sits right in the middle, in the center, and it will be essential to consider each of these SDGs through a lens of these 5 dimensions. So here is just another way of viewing the elements and the distribution of each SDGs for each piece. As you can see on your screen, you can see that peace and partnerships have their own SDGs. So to recap a bit on the Sustainable Development Goals, the Sustainable Development Goals are basically pointers of what you want to achieve in the future. Let's say you want to solve poverty, so you go ahead with SDGs 1. Choosing one goal to support is a good way to start and to take specific actions. However, as I mentioned earlier, all the goals are interlinked, interconnected. So by supporting one goal, your actions will have positive impacts on other goals. For example, promoting gender equality, Goal 5, in schools or universities will help support a growing economy, Goal 8, and quality education for all, Goal 4. So if you're curious with the SDG progress, you can check out these links I am about to post on the chat box. There's a question and I'll come back to that later. So yeah, if you want to track on the SDGs among your countries, they give quite specific data, so you can check it out on the links I posted on the chat box. So now we're going to jump into on how SDGs and social entrepreneurships are interconnected. Well, from the way I see it, the SDGs present a set of complex social and environmental challenges, problems we face between now and 2030. And social entrepreneurship, by definition, is about doing business for a social cause. Solutions, I would like to call them. So, in other words, social entrepreneurship with the 169 targets and 230 indicators as their compass has a significant part to play in achieving the SDGs. So, I would like to touch lightly on for good, for profit social entrepreneurship, or social enterprise in other words, and compare between the traditional charity and pure for-profit business, and stress how social entrepreneurship share the characteristics of both. So as you can see on your screen right now, social entrepreneurship and businesses are for profit, while charities, NGOs are not for profit. Social enterprise covers both the aims of the charity and business, where they aim to solve human problems and generate market returns. Charities rely on donations to support donations or support by individuals, corporation and government, while business will rely on paying customers and other corporations primarily. However, the social enterprises rely on partnerships. The keyword here is partnerships with individual, corporation, and government. Social enterprises and business are self-sustaining, while charities and NGOs are not. Finally, for social enterprises and businesses, you get to recruit top talents globally, while it might be difficult for you to recruit top talents under charity or NGO. So I guess we're already close to the end of the session. So just a quick review and reflection. We talked about SDGs, we talked about MDGs, the core elements or pillars of SDGs, principles of SDGs, and slightly about social enterprise. So on your screen right now, it's what we usually give to the participants of this movers workshop. It's my personal SDGs action plan. It's best if you can grab a pen, grab a pen or a pencil and list 3 sustainable development goals you care about and 3 actions you will take in the future. So basically,
okay.
Yeah?
I'm just gonna interrupt you for a bit. You have around 25 minutes, so you can do the exercises. Okay. The next session starts around 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah.
So I guess breakout sessions will it be fine?
I don't think breakouts would be a good idea, but we can do the exercise without breaking up. We can just use the chat box and the SDG action plan.
All right, sure. So we still have time. Let's see. Okay, we'll cover this up first. So write in the chat box of what social or I know, yeah, I went too fast. So basically, let's finish this up first. So I'm going to give you a time, 5 minutes to think about this, and then we can just spam the chat box. Feel free to share in the chat as well. 3 sustainable development goals that you care about and 3 actions that you would like to take in the future. I can start from my own 3 sustainable development goals. So I care about zero poverty, zero hunger, SDGs 1, SDGs 2, and SDGs 4, quality education. The reason is my major is that I've been studying IT, which is basically full of technologies, but in Malaysia and in Japan itself, which is growing to be the developed countries typically, the agriculture part has been ignored for an extended period of time. So I would like to incorporate technology through education to encourage people to resume farming, to make farming exciting for the youth to join. And another problem is that since the current times, youth in our generation, they don't really want to join agriculture, so they tend to move to the cities and join other work. So it's pretty much ignored in Malaysia. Yeah, I'm still trying to work out in this sector though. I have nothing else to talk. All right, Sajad says it's 3, 4, and 12. Yasin says is decent work and economic growth. Climate action. Climate action is one of the good ones. Yeah. Lamia, climate, gender, and partnerships. Tenzim, all of the above. Nusrat is quality education. Gender equality and decent work. Economy, climate action as well. Nice. SDGs care about. Gender equality, climate action, and no poverty. Nice. Raihan, quality education, life above water, life below water, and life on land. Right. Samin 4, 5, and 16, quality education. All right. So I would like to touch a bit deeper though. What do you, since, are you all entrepreneurs in a way? Tanzim is intrapreneur, all right? Then is 1, 6, and 9, entrepreneur. All right. So I'm just going to drop the bomb here. I'm just going to share my experience. Well, I started as an entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, but then it was tough for me in social entrepreneurs. Nice. It was tough for me because I didn't understand SDGs, but I wanted to do good. So you tend to go for that kind of route of doing good, but you need to know how much impact you're going to make to your community itself. So you need to understand your surrounding first and actually understand what you care about. So since I still have time and we can just use this as a sharing session, what are the social or environmental issues do you care about? Anything, just put it on the chat box.
What was the question? Can you repeat it?
What social and environmental problems that you care about? Can be all from ranging from using less plastics or trying to climate change to mitigate the climate changes. So that is not an entrepreneur, but inshallah, social enterprise. All right, gender equality, working condition, and waste management. Awareness regarding pollution. We need to take initiatives to mitigate plastic pollution. Plastic is an interesting topic. Yeah. There are cases I would like to share this though, but there are cases in Japan where a lot of people, especially new blooming social entrepreneurs, plastic has been a hot topic. They were saying that we need to use less plastic, so hence the production of plastics are becoming less and less. But if you're going to think about it in a different point of view, for those people who are working under the plastic industry, if they are not making plastic, their pays might go down, which affects their life, which might affect their poverty level. So, you really need to find a balance between both of those, while still ensuring them to be employed and using less plastics, Sajab, if all. adopt sensible consumption and production. Lots of problems to be solved. Number 12 for SDGs. Child labor, yes. Without giving importance to education, yeah. Another thing is that education is a crucial point. So a lot of these farmers in Japan are also cheated because, I usually talked about Japan because I spent about 7 years in Japan. But then, since they are not exposed to technology that much, not exposed to how the world is developing, they are basically getting cheated a lot of times. So it's essential to give them education, Coming back from Malaysia, I got addicted with chana chor. That's my comfort food right now. And yeah, the chana chor plastics, the packaging is all over my house now because we have Bangladesh workers around, and I usually will go and hang out with them. In a way, I'm half of the Bangladesh right now. I can't really speak, but I consider me as one. What else? Gender-based violence. Please send if you have chana chor. I just got the spicy one. The red packet. I don't know how to say it, but yeah.
Bombay sweets.
Yeah, that.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe Startup Chapter and us, we can send you a gift pack of chana chor, all the chana chor you need.
And talking about entrepreneurship, so you need to find you need to make your business unique. So by all means, chana chor is not available in Malaysia. So you can just start up a new chana chor and it will bloom. It will just explode in a way. I hope, probably. Women empowerment, nice. Universal basic income. Yeah. Nachos without puff rice. I haven't had that. What is that? I'm just gonna Google it later.
Okay, so remember the thing I was having when we had the call, like the white crispy thing? That's
Yeah.
rice. So we usually mix it up and then have it together. So hopefully when the borders are open, I'll show you when I get there.
I'll just try to Google it up later.
Okay. Okay, we are close to the next session. So if you would like to start the question answer rounds, and then we can have some of the participants ask you a few questions, and then hopefully we can move on to the next session. So we have like 5 more minutes for you.
Sure. There was a question here regarding prosperity though.
কারো যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions to Kay. Hello? Yeah, I don't think anyone has any questions. কারো যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে একটু হ্যান্ড রেজ করতে হবে, বা আপনি আনমিউট করে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারেন, কোনো সমস্যা নেই। Okay, I don't think there's many questions. Your presentation was pretty clear. So
Yeah, there was one question though. Can you explain more about prosperity? Which areas it covers? It actually covers. Prosperity is about in other words, it's wealth, living comfortably. People, planet, and prosperity is about economic growth. In another word.
Okay, so I think that's about it. I think there's another question, Kay. It says, which strategies can be taken to implement SDGs easily?
Easily? I guess it's to understand your own environment and you want to do as a social entrepreneur, it's on the it's not in this slide, but it's more towards how you define your markets, your targets, your locations and everything. If you understand your own environment properly, and what you aim to do, which SDGs that you relate well together, if you start taking action from there, and then I think it will go smoothly and easily. That's in my opinion though.
Okay, thank you, Kay. Namiaku.
Yeah, thank you, Kay, so much for being so sporty and for sharing the knowledge of SDG and social entrepreneurship with us. Everyone else, if you are interested, please sign up for the Movers program. It's super fun. You'll get to meet Kay for longer. You would like that. Also, Amra, next week, Impact Hub is also hosting another Movers program on gender. আমি আপনাদেরকে ডিটেইলগুলো চ্যাটে দিয়ে দিচ্ছি. Please sign up or have a look if you want. So thank you, Kay, again.